Hi, what's up? We today are going to talk about the Inio Asano gallery exhibit thing that I went to. This was at a big mall in Ike I did not know it was going to be there. I was just going to that mall with my friend for some other things. We wanted to go to Jump World and the Pokemon Center and stuff like that. And I started seeing signs for it, and I was like, whoa, that's so cool that they're having this. I wonder when it is. Checked it out a little more. It was happening right then. So we went. It was great. They allowed pictures, so I took a bajillion pictures, and we're going to look at said pictures. This was all to celebrate Ctrl+T2, which is his second art book collection. I have the first one, it's fantastic. The second one is way bigger, it's about 3 times the size of the first one. I would love to show it to you now. I would love to actually look at it myself. But right now, it is, like so many other things I bought in Japan, on a boat through the Pacific Ocean. Oops. But eventually we'll get to see it. I love this gallery's banner and kind of the whole aesthetic. They use this sort of color scheme with the combination of like plants and flowers where things are like chunked and painted like a monochrome within the chunks. I think that's so cool. I don't think Asano like necessarily invented that, but he's done it really, really well. There's a lot of Punpun spreads that are done this way that I think are just fantastic. The way the exhibit was broken down was largely chronological. Um, this was like something that he had drawn. This was like a real drawing, not like a reproduction, but the actual marker on page drawing that was there that he had done for this exhibit. You can see she's got straps of some of his kind of iconic characters. That's Asobion from Dead to Demons. This is Punpun from Punpun, of course, and the little rabbit guys from Solanin. Ha ha. So that's a great way to start. You're like, dang, this guy can draw. This is from What a Wonderful World. This is the actual pages that he was drawing. You can see here his like actual lines before he inked over it. What a Wonderful World is, I don't know, I don't think it's one of his strongest works. It definitely kind of has the feel of someone just starting out, in that it's kind of, I don't want to say edgy, but it really is like attention-getting in a lot of ways, where his later work I think is a little more subtle and profound. But it's still definitely worth reading. And then this, though, this is like I think his first real masterpiece tier book. Before Dawn and the End of the World. This I think deserves to have way, way more attention than it does. If it was up to me, this would be celebrated as much as Punpun. So I was really excited that there was a section devoted to it, one of my favorite books, and one that I thought is kind of criminally underrepresented in his canon. And here, this is perhaps my absolute favorite page in manga, and I don't say that lightly, given how much manga I read and how much I love manga, but this one page might be my favorite. And I don't really want to talk too much about what it means, because it kind of gives away the impact of the story when you first read it. But at the same time, like, don't hype yourself up too much. It's like a very small, subtle story, a tiny glimpse into someone's life, that could be remarkable, that could be kind of a major development in their life and in their attitude and worldview, but it might not be. It has that lightness to it. It's an absolute masterpiece in storytelling. And these 2 pages, like this page, sorry, and the 2-page spread before it, this is the same page. So this is the part that he drew, and this is the part that's an edited photograph. That's the way that Asano composes his manga, is by combining edited photography with drawings over top of it. And the result is this. Sekai no owari ni mitaeda. It was like the end of the world. And I don't, again, it's It's not literally the end of the world. It's not like things explode on the next page, which wouldn't be out of out of Asano's wheelhouse at all to have things exploding on the next page. Oh, oh man, so it's hard to top that. It's hard to top already seeing the composition and originals for my absolute favorite page in manga. But really, it is just getting started, this exhibit. Here, I took a close-up of it. Oh, I feel very blessed to be able to see something like this. I felt very blessed to meet Asano earlier last year. I made a video about that. I really feel a connection to his works. I think if it wasn't for his works, I wouldn't be anywhere near as into manga as I am. Even though the sort of really serious and sad and kind of literary manga he draws is not typically the sort of manga I'm interested in. It was the fact that this was like kind of the first manga I really engaged with in that way. And it proved to me the depth of the medium and that the medium could satisfy me in all the same ways that books do, like that literary books do. It just made my interest in the medium like explode. And it was one of the first mangas that I got really into that wasn't popular at all. Like when I first kind of discovered Punpun, it was in a random thread on A where people were just talking about manga they liked. I think it was about sad manga specifically. And I started reading it and I was hooked. And at that time, the scanlations were like several volumes behind what had been released in Japan, I found out. So it wasn't that popular. Like it wasn't really a series that people were excited about. Whereas nowadays, all of his series, I'm pretty sure all of his series, the scanlations are up to date with the latest magazine releases. And you know, I did something about it. If you didn't know, I was actually once I found that out that it was behind the Japanese releases, I went and bought all the Japanese releases. I imported them from CD Japan, which man, I don't think I've ever said the name of that website out loud before. It definitely sounds like CD Japan, like the CD underbelly of Japan. But of course, no, it's compact disc Japan, CD Japan. Anyways, I ordered them from there. I melted the glue with a hairdryer. I ripped out all the pages. I scanned them one by one. I sent them to Hawks, an absolute legend of the scanlation community, and he translated them and scanlated them. And because of that, I feel like I played a minor but still significant role in Asano's popularity in the West. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to help with that. But like I said, like the fact that I kind of discovered him proved to me the depth of manga, like that there were these masterpieces just out there that were not appearing in Shonen Jump and weren't being animated and weren't being, you know, I don't know, like, anyways, this is from Nigahara Holograph. It's kind of spoilers, I guess, sorry. This is from near the end. The man turns into butterflies. I thought it was interesting. So in the original drawings, you can see he draws just a few butterflies. And I think it's just to kind of like figure out how they'll look. It's the easiest way for him to do that. And then he uses digital effects to clone them and alter them and make a bajillion more. It's pretty cool. And I've seen people kind of like complain about this. I mean, I don't get it. Like, this is all artistic skill. You should be allowed to use every tool available to you as an artist. I think the only thing that really does bother me is tracing with the intent to misrepresent what parts of it were your contribution and what parts of it were someone else's. But something, yeah, I don't know. I think it's so cool the way that he works digitally in concert with his actual drawing ability. These are like location studies for a variety of things. Again, you can see it's like a mixture of photography. This is obviously photography with details that he draws himself or things that you can highlight just through the modification of pictures. It's pretty cool. Here's some more. some famous areas. Of course, we can see Glicoman at the big bridge in Osaka, the big Buddha at Nara, is that right? I don't know. This is where you start feeling like, oh, I'm seeing something really rare. Like I'm looking now very far within the manga. These are like character studies and sketches to kind of figure out how the characters are going to move, how they're going to look from different angles, preparing yourself to draw them in all sorts of different scenes in the manga, consistently and fluently and readily. So these are from all over the place. This one is from, what's it called? Ozaki-kun? Ozaki-kun or something like that. The really bizarre gag manga about the man who's always abusing his boss, but his boss is secretly in love with this man, and it's pretty crazy. These are from a new series that he's doing, I'm pretty sure, that we'll see more of later. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Like, you can start to see how he actually does it. It's a lot easier to imagine him sitting down and drawing something like this at this stage and kind of doing it as an exercise, I suppose. Like as something that doesn't directly contribute to the final project. But then it kind of like fills out in your mind the actual work and the actual craft of making manga, like the things that he does that occupy his time to go from the start to the finished product. And these again are all original. I mean, it's hard to tell from the photograph through the glass, but when you're there in person, it's apparent that this is actually just pencil on paper, which is just chilling kind of to think of once you have this level of reverence for somebody. This one goes all the way back to Solanin. No. Solanin? Or is this the guy from Before Dawn and the End of the World? I don't know, but it looks like he's laying out chapter titles here. Working out the page count of things. I love that they included stuff like this, that it wasn't shying away. And I wish my Japanese was better, that I could read this more easily. But we're not going to bother trying to muddle through it now, it'll take forever. Again, here it looks like he's kind of sketching out some dialogue. Why can't I zoom? What the heck? What are those dots going by? What? Am I not zooming? What? Is it loading? Does it have to load zoom in? Alright, that was weird. But yeah, it looks like he's trying to figure out dialogue. Honno tsuno mieta no ni. Yes. I don't know. I'm not sure. I took a bunch of pictures of these. This is from Solanin, of course. Again, another pretty famous scene, I guess you would say. And you can see here the photography layer. He took a picture of what this looks like, and then a drawing layer over top. This is a recreation of the mailbox from Solanin. There's this mascot character stands out in front of a drugstore that the one character works at, and there's an old man that comes by and at one point tries to mail a letter into the slot of the mouth. So I thought that was kind of cool that they made this prop. I don't know if this is from the live-action movie they made of Solanin, perhaps, which I haven't watched, or if they made it just for the show. I don't know. Here we see some, this is from Solanin, right? Some in-progress shots. This one showing a much more rough sketch than we're used to seeing, and also much more direct photography in the background. Like, you can tell there's still layers that are going to be applied to this. Same with this one. This is just an actual shot he took. Maybe he had some friends pose like this so he could kind of tell where the characters were going to be. And then it goes from this to this. So you can see there's quite a transformation to bring out kind of the impossible complete depth of focus that the manga has, where like something like this is drawn quite sharply, whereas this you can see obviously there's a lot of loss by the time it gets that far back. And another one that he talked about in the talk that I went to at TCAF was changing copyrighted material. So you can see here it's the classic anime Whackdonald's instead of MacDonald's. So little adjustments like that I think he makes, and he has a lot of fun with it too sometimes, little Easter eggs and such. This is from Ctrl+T1 actually, a shot of the Solanin characters, and this was up on the wall. It's cool to see it so close up. More shots. Yeah, I think this is so cool. That he takes a picture of the room arranged like this, that he already has the foresight when he's taking the pictures that he wants to end up with a drawing like this. Oh, what a great manga Solanin is. Oh, lordy lordy. This is a great page in Punpun. One of the ones early on that like really showed me that this was not the sort of manga that I was used to reading. My brain! Ochinko kara. Brain, I don't know how to say brain. Ga tobideta. A piece of my brain came out of my wiener. And I'm going to leave it as an exercise for the reader to figure out what's going on there. Or you can just read Punpun. Here's some shots much later into Punpun. You can see here this like half-complete drawing, and then like a bunch of sketches. I think this was like trying to figure out what sort of head Punpun would have in this drawing. Here's Punpun's famous pyramid mode, which you can you yourself at home can also isolate into the pyramid by listening to Frank Ocean's Pyramids on loop for 12 hours. I highly recommend it. This is, I have this on a t-shirt. Do you want to see it? It'll take me a second. Oh. Yay! I have this on a t-shirt. It came with one of the Punpun volumes. I haven't worn this t-shirt. It's kind of too small for me. But it's a great t-shirt. That of course being Aiko from Punpun. This, I wasn't really sure what this was at all. This was a manga I had not encountered before, that was just posted on the wall like this. I don't really know what to say about it. It's confusing. It has like no dialogue. It almost looks like a draft for something that didn't really come to be. Oh, there's a bit of dialogue. I don't know what these kanji are at all. That was cool. I took some close-ups of it. This was a big Punpun wall, kind of announcing the start of the Punpun section. Here we see Punpun in many different forms. Cool teenage Punpun, hopeful middle school Punpun, almost alien in its naivety and innocence, child Punpun. And here are some scenes. These are big spoilers, so don't look at them too closely if you haven't read it. There's another character that if I explained who she was, it would be a big spoiler, so if you haven't read Punpun and you're subscribed to this channel, you need to get your head on straight. So here's a bunch of sketches and stuff, a bunch of sample dialogue. I think this might be like the big monologue during Punpun's young adulthood, the one that they try to convert into a story. Here, oh no, this is this of course is Punpun's essay about how he wants to discover a planet. Yeah, Punyama Punpun, there's his name. 5th grade, 2nd class, Boku no Yume wa something chu no. So my dream is something blah 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 blah. More sketches and stuff. I'm not sure where these kind of like chibi sized Android almost looking character sketches. I don't know what those are for, but pretty good. Cool stuff. I really like these like studies of young Punpun and how he moves and all of his different characteristics. His little dash. Should be like a Smash Bros. Character. You look at this and you're like, oh, this could be a Smash Bros. Character. This would be like neutral B, dash attack, up B. This is forward B maybe? I don't know. I don't know. This, of course, this was in an Ico room. There was like a little room off from the gallery that you went in, and you were just surrounded by gigantic pictures of Ico from the manga, and it's devastating. It's like it's strange to me. The gallery kind of seemed to have a dual purpose. I say it's strange, but really it's actually very cool. Where on the one hand it was just like a display of his talent and his artwork and his progress from his very beginnings to his latest work. But at the other hand, it seemed like if you were a fan of the work, it was like set up as kind of a recreation of the emotional impacts that some of his manga has, which means that a lot of it was like devastatingly sad. And when I went into this Ico room, I was pretty affected. Like I was kind of devastated, I suppose, by just the juxtaposition of all of these different scenes from her life, from her fictional life. Yeah, I don't think these pictures do it justice because you're basically surrounded on all sides. You go in through a fairly narrow door. And then the roof as well has pictures of Aiko. This one is my favorite when she's watching him drive past in the car. Ah! It hurts! This was cool. It was like showing off the many translations of Punpun, I suppose, because it has been localized now in many different places. I think first was Bonne Nuit Punpun in French, and then I assume there's a Chinese one because China gets a lot of manga, and then English finally came, Viz blessing us with a really nice release of it in English, so you don't have to read my scans anymore. I think I took another picture of this, but there's this Punpun on a bench too. Another big prop. Oh, maybe I didn't. Here's some more sketches and stuff. I do it and may do it, but it is not necessary to do it. You must sometimes do it. Okay. Thanks, Asano-san. Here's some of his more... This is the god figure, of course, that appears in Punpun a lot. There was like a video playing music here, I'm pretty sure, of the Good Vibrations man. Another strange character in the Punpun lore. And this is, of course, the Poop God, or God of Poop. A character that exists in this character's imagination. I loved it. Another thing I can remember, like, geez, this would have been 13 years ago. I think I was like 14, 15 when I first learned about Punpun. And this God of Poop character and the juxtaposition of like this childlike drawing representing his imagination and the photorealism of everything around it, I thought was just so genius and like something I hadn't even really considered the possibility of in manga, but it just blew me away. This I thought was pretty cool, big wall scroll thing. This is a character from Dead the Demon's Destruction, I'm pretty sure, right? I just really like that he has like an anime shirt, and that like the art style of the anime within this manga is like, yeah, you know, it's cool. I thought that was really cool. He's so good at pulling off what it like authentically looks like that kind of like KyoAni chipmunky moe style. This is another cool wall scroll. Oh wait, no, these are both characters from Girl by the Sea, which is his kind of erotic story. Yeah. And this is art from it. There was a separate room that was curtained off, and you weren't allowed to take photographs in there, and it had like a lot of like the nude sketches and stuff that he used for A Girl by the Sea. So that was kind of cool. But of course, I have no pictures of it. This is now like a wall of kind of miscellany type stuff. So like promotional art that may have been run in a magazine or something, just kind of sketches that he did. Maybe this was for like a promo signboard or something. I don't know, but they're pretty cool. This, of course, is a promo for Village Vanguard, the exciting bookstore. One of my favorite stores in Japan. They just have all sorts of bizarre and literary and artistic, but mostly bizarre and sometimes extremely cheap and juvenile type things. It's all over the place, Village Vanguard. Definitely check it out. Yeah, this was the others section, which was just, again, just kind of miscellaneous art that he had made for a variety of purposes. So this, I think, is another promo using the Dead Demons characters. It's really well done. Nice sense of chaos. This was a video. Oh, this is a video I took of the video that was playing. This was from a series of documentaries on mangaka that did an episode on Asano. I haven't watched it yet. I really should watch it. I don't know why I haven't, but it seems interesting. I took a little 360 of this room. You can see there's all sorts of cool stuff. I think I took more pictures of this too, so it's not like we have to go frame by frame. This one I really liked. I saw it later in the gift shop on like a t-shirt, but the t-shirt was quite expensive and didn't seem like it would fit me, but whatever. I have been interested in modular synthesizers for a while, actually, and like for a few months. So I thought this was a really cool depiction of the modular synthesizer juxtaposed with the art style and the girl, everything. That was so cool. But this one I thought was just nuts. Can't really describe what's going on here. That's a lot of good-looking sushi. Look at that uni. Oh, uni. Oh, I want to eat it. Oh, I love uni. This one was strange. A maggot with a Dakimakura and a bunch of anime goods and some Nendroids back there and stuff. Okay. What does it mean? Should I feel attacked? Yes. The answer is yes. And just more and more and more. I don't know when he has the time to do all these promotional drawings. I suppose it's a good supplement to his income, but... Oh, this was the figure? I was aware this existed, but I had never seen it in person before, and I never saw it in any of the stores where I went looking for figures. If I did, it might have been a buy-on-site scenario. I think it's a really cool figure. I love the juxtaposition between Asobion, this like kind of Doraemon-esque character that exists within the universe of the series that's really cartoony and simplistic, and then the kind of like realistic but still exaggerated human characters, and then the mech, which is like straight out of the Toriyama style of mech building, where it's like semi-functional and has kind of that like, not quite steampunk, but you know, kind of 80s technology feel, I guess I would say. And yet at the same time is like so slick and futuristic in other ways. Anyway, fantastic figure. As far as I know, the only kind of large, expensive scale figure that has been made based on Asano's works. Most of the other things is just like merch. Like I had that little Asobion figure that I showed you earlier in another video. Like things on that level. I have a couple little Punpun plushies. But nothing like this. That's so cool. Good for him. I hope they make more. I hope they make Nendos of these girls. No, it's never gonna happen. Well, I shouldn't say never, man. There's like Harry Potter Nendroids now. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Oh, I thought this was so cool. He did Splatoon art. What is this for? Like, was this for an actual Nintendo made product? Switch Publishing? Switch Volume 34? Is that like an official Nintendo magazine? That he did the cover for? Maybe? I don't know. It's really good though, isn't it? I think it really captures the spirit of Splatoon. There's some other ones here too. All sorts of them. I really wanted to take a lot of pictures of these sorts of arts because a lot of them I had never seen before. And I wasn't really sure what context I would ever see them again or what I would search for to find them. I'll take a close-up of the Splatoon one. Oh, it's so good. This was a big wall scroll kind of announcing the Dead Demons Destruction section. I thought it was really well done. The contrast or the similarity, more like, between the Tokyo skyline and the gigantic mothership. These are some pages from it. Again, we got this being overlaid on top of this in the final version. Here's some Sobion action. The first drawings and then the finished products. Hey girl. This I thought was really cool. There was like a collaboration with this clothing company, Kaisuke Kanda, which I suppose must be from Kanda, I just realized. It's a place in Tokyo. To recreate outfits worn by the characters in the series. So you can see here... wait, who's wearing it? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, this like blouse sweatshirt combination with the like pseudo sash. That's what she's wearing, right? I don't know. We could have picked a clearer shot. Some of the other ones are more clear. Ah, that's so cool. Another good shot. A big wall scroll. Yeah, some action. This, I think, is advertising the clothing. You can buy the stuff they're wearing. I got my picture taken in front of this one. Yeah! Yeah, another shot. Yeah, one more. Oh, that was it. Here's a bunch of sketches for that series. And again, like here, you can see the real work being done. Like just these studies of the face, just the eyes, just the nose. Trying to work out what sort of expressions they could have. Oh, it's so good. Oh, what an amazing artist. It doesn't seem fair. Like, think about the combination of skills that coincide in Asano's body that allow him to do this. He has to be an amazing artist. He has to be an amazing photographer. He has to be an amazing writer. It's those three. No, just kidding. There's also the amount of dedication and relentlessness and willingness to self-sacrifice to be a manga artist. Like the amount of hours you have to put in on just at the craft level. Making stuff like this, you know? Not just doing the fun parts, not just doing the kind of glamorous parts, but grinding out what the characters are going to look like, making sure they look right in every single scene. Drawing this entire comic by yourself week after week after week. Or maybe with some assistance, but it's a really grueling job. And just because you have all of the talent and all of the ideas and all of the passion doesn't mean poop. If you actually can't just sit there and produce all of the drawings we've seen so far, all like 50 pictures we've taken, are all things that came from his pen. Isn't that amazing? This is mind-blowing to me. So when I say it isn't fair, it's more like, no, it is fair. He's earned it. I guess that's what I really mean. The fairness comes through in something like this. When you see him draw the same face like 50 times, just to make sure he really understands how it looks. That's when it becomes fair. This is what makes it fair. Oh, it's so good. Look at that cat. That's a great cat. Some pencil sketches. Zoom. So this is another manga. This is, I think, Reiraku, which is a very autobiographical story of his divorce. I have not read it yet. I think it's going to give me the big sad, so I'm pretty scared about reading it. But I know he thinks quite highly of it, like he's very proud of what he was able to accomplish with it. And a friend of mine read it a bit ago, and he said it was really moving, so we will get to it eventually. Probably read it on this channel. This is another one that I haven't read yet, that came out quite recently. It looks really, really bizarre. I love this kind of red toning. It gives it like a kind of old-fashioned comic book type feel. But I bought it and I flipped through it, and it is no old-fashioned fairy tale. This is some weird stuff. This was just info about it. I think this was before I bought it, and I was only vaguely aware that it existed in the first place, and I was like freaking out that it existed to this extent and I didn't know about it. This is another series. Oh wait, no. Same series? Did I just like look at the other side of the hall and take that picture and then look back? This of course is the series that we were just looking at. What is even going on here? Where can we begin to understand this? I just love the way he colors foliage. Like, this is from a photograph, I'm 99% sure. If it's not, it's even crazier. But then the choice of, like, monochroming it, layering it over with, like splotches. You can see here, there's, like, splotches of kind of complementary colors. But then you, like, have other layers of depth that aren't monochromed. You know? This is cool. This is cool. This is a cool way to color. It seems so simple, but I don't think I could do it. This was Koko ni watashi ga iru. I am in here. I don't know what this is from or what this is about. I kind of wanted to take my picture in the hole, but it didn't seem right, so I just took a picture of the thing. This is a sketch of it. See, I would have to make this face. I'd have to live up to this face. It's impossible. And then this was at the end. There was a big whiteboard where you could just draw and leave messages. I thought this was like so cool, so amazing. You can see a lot of Punpuns, people drawing Punpuns. Pretty easy character to draw. Some people a little more ambitious. That one's pretty good. This one's really good. Oh wait, no, that's Sensei himself. So of course it's really good. This one's really good. That one's spooky. So the gallery had already been going on for quite a while, so of course this thing was filled to the brim. But in anticipation of that, they left out some notebooks too. There's another shot of it. There's all this stuff over here we didn't look in the first one. All these messages. So it was kind of like his 20th anniversary too. It's been 20 years since his manga started getting published. So it was in celebration of that as well. And I guess maybe it's been 10 years since Ctrl+T1. So maybe that's the plan, is that he'll just release an art book every decade. That's kind of cool. That's something to look forward to. Oh, that's so great. I like this little pyramid Punpun here. Oh, I took a little video. Trying to kind of explore all of it. I love whiteboards like this, where everyone just keeps contributing, and that the messages kind of get denser and denser and denser. You're writing in smaller and smaller spaces and somewhat overlapping previous work. And there's just this awesome feeling of depth to it, that there's almost like another dimension that you look into as you study it. I think graffiti walls, like a heavily graffitied wall, has the same appeal to me. But when it's all themed around one of my favorite artists of all time, like, it just goes over the top. It's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at all that stuff. It just goes on and on and on. And then I took a little video flipping through one of the notebooks. All of the notebooks seem similarly full. So a little more spaced out than the whiteboards, but people writing really lovely messages, I'm sure. This one's great. So that was really beautifully heartwarming to see. So much of his work deals with alienation, depression, loneliness, isolation, dealing with the feeling that you can't really make meaningful connections with people, that society kind of forces you into this inauthentic lifestyle, which then in turn is only able to make inauthentic connections, and all of these other really bleak things, which all obviously come deep from the heart of Asano as a creator and as a human being. So I can only hope, I can only really hope that when he looks at this, when he looks through these notebooks, that I don't know. I'm not sure what it ought to do for him. I don't know if it'll make him happy. I don't know if it'll give him some sort of peace. And it's like, it doesn't really refute what he was saying. Society at large still is an inauthentic place full of inauthentic connections and a lot of loneliness and suffering and misery. But he's been able to bring these people together. He brought me to this place. I left a little message in there. I wrote it in English. I thought about trying to write it in Japanese, but it just seemed like not worth it. And I saw some other stuff in English too, so I was like, okay. Yeah, I wrote a little message, you know, and I don't know. It's like, I think it probably is pretty overwhelming for him to look through stuff like this. I know it would be for me. So this was at the exit, another big banner. Sort of like the first banner, but now you see it's all covered in his characters. These wonderful, wonderful casts. All of these classic characters. And many more to come. It does not seem like he is planning on stopping making manga anytime soon. And we're going to do our best to keep reading all of it. And this is from later in the day when we went to Jump World. So that's for another video. Okay. Do I have anything else I want to say? I don't know. I think I kind of covered it all. My question is, where's the Fukumoto exhibit? Huh? Why can't we get a similar exhibit but for Fukumoto and have like a mahjong table set up and a recreation of the family restaurant that Kurosawa hangs out with his friends and the recreation of the forced kneeling table and where's my Fukumoto display? Because in terms of my favorite manga artists, Fukumoto might be one of the very, very few that I still rank higher than Asano. I don't know. Oh, it's so great. Alright, it was a fantastic time. If you're in Tokyo now, get your butt over there as soon as possible before the exhibit closes, which I think is sometime in February. If you're not in Tokyo and you can't get there, I hope watching this video gave you some satisfaction, some feeling of what it's like to be there. I tried to photo document it pretty exhaustively, but there was a lot of other stuff too. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I definitely think he's earned it as an artist in so many different respects. Again, it's just looking at stuff like this. They're like, there it is. There's the real work. That's what makes it fair. Okay, bye-bye.